Hello and a very good morning. It's just past 8 this Monday morning and we're back again with all the news on Breakfast News. I am Nancy Kohli Mahajan, and over the next 1 hour we'll take you through all the national, international, sports and business updates. But first, a look at the top stories. The central team visits the flood-affected areas in Bihar to assess the situation. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad also visits the affected areas in Fatua of Patna district, interacts with the flood-affected people and reviews the relief work. Rescue and relief operations on in full swing. Today is the last date for withdrawal of candidature for the elections to the legislative assemblies of Haryana and Maharashtra, both the states to go to polls on the 21st of October. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar says situation in Jammu and Kashmir is normal, says the people in the valley are happy over the abrogation of Article 370 as they will get the benefits at par with the citizens of the rest of the country. In international news, in a major setback to Pakistan, the Asia-Pacific group of the Financial Action Task Force slams Islamabad for not taking sufficient measures against individuals and entities associated with the terror groups. Report comes heavily on Pakistan's central bank, market regulator and exchange commission over terror financing. Mauritius Prime Minister Pravin Kumar Jagannath dissolves Parliament. In a video statement, he announces that the island nation would hold general elections next month. In cricket, Ravindra Jadeja and Mohammad Shami wrecked South Africa's second innings to give India a comprehensive 203-run victory against South Africa in the first set at Visakhapatnam. The visitors all out for 191 while chasing a victory target of 395 runs. And Mahanavami is being celebrated across the country today. This day, the 9th form of goddess Durga is worshipped. The day also marks the end of the Navaratri festival. Our top story is 6-member central team led by the Joint Secretary, Home Ministry G. Ramesh Kumar visited the various flood-affected areas of Bihar. The team held discussions with the top officials of the state government and assessed the situation. The central team visited different districts including Patna, Bhagalpur and Khagadia during the 2-day visit. The team will submit a report to the centre about the devastating floods in the state. Over 22 lakh people spread over 1,004 villages of 15 districts are reeling under the impact of the floods. Union Minister Ravi Shankar Prasad visited the flood-affected people of Taranpur village of Fatua in Patna district and reviewed the relief work being done by the administration. Prasad, the BJP MP from Patna Sahib constituency, interacted with the district administration and inquired about the status of relief work being carried out by the NDRF and the SDRF teams in the deluge-hit areas. He also asked the concerned officials about electricity, drinking water facility and the food being provided to villagers as a part of relief work. He also spoke with the villagers to learn about the difficulties due to flood water and ensure immediate relief to them. Meanwhile, the water of the level of Punpun and the Ganga rivers in Bihar continue to recede on Sunday. Other rivers including the Burhi Gandak, Kamla Balan, Bagmati, Mahananda are also showing a declining trend in the water level. Over 22 lakh people across 14 districts have been affected by the floods. 25 teams of the NDRF and the SDRF are conducting rescue and relief operations. And moving on now to news from the poll-bound states of Haryana and Maharashtra. Today is the last date for withdrawal of the candidature for the assembly elections to Haryana and Maharashtra. The scrutiny of the nomination papers in both Haryana and Maharashtra was held yesterday. The two states will go to polls on the 21st of October. The counting will be taken up on the 24th. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has said that the situation in Jammu and Kashmir is normal. In an interaction with the news agency, the minister said that the people in J&K are happy over the abrogation of Article 370 provisions, as they will now get the benefits and the entitlements at par with the citizens of the rest of the country. The minister asserted that there have been no restrictions on the media and that all the newspapers are being published in the valley without any difficulty. The minister also added that journalists are free to visit the region and see the situation for themselves. And the Jammu and Kashmir Director General of Police Dilbagh Singh has said that Pakistan is violating the ceasefire in order to push the terrorists. He said the anti-infiltration grid of the Indian Army at the border areas is strong and has foiled many such attempts from Pakistan.
पुंछ और राजौरी के एरिया में बार-बार सीजफायर वायलेशन हो रहा है, उधर उड़ी के एरिया में है, नामला के एरिया में हो रहा है, करना और केरन के एरिया में हो रहा है। और ये सीजफायर वायलेशन जो हैं, इसके दौरान पाकिस्तान आर्मी की कोशिश रहती है कि ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा मिलिटेंट्स को पुशन करने की कोशिश करें। हमारी जो एंटी इन्फिल्ट्रेशन ग्रिड है, जो बॉर्डर की ग्रिड है, काफ़ी मजबूत है और उनकी बहुत सारी ऐसी कोशिशें जो है वो नाकाम की गई हैं।
Normalcy continues to prevail in Jammu and Kashmir after the abrogation of 370, and while all the areas are free from the restrictions of every kind, security forces continue to maintain vigil to ensure the law and order situation is under control. And for more on that, let's go across now to our correspondent Bikramjeet Singh, who is joining us from Srinagar this morning. Bikram, situation of course continues to be normal and peaceful across J&K, but security forces also maintaining all the vigil and alertness to make sure that any nefarious designs from across the border, is averted and of course brought to its logical end. And all the security measures continue to be in place, though.
देखिए, जिस प्रकार की सिचुएशन है, सीज फायर वायलेशंस हो रहे हैं, जिस प्रकार की परिस्थितियां पिछले दिनों में हैंड ग्रेनेड से हमले हुए हैं, तो उसको देखते हुए, उसके मद्देनजर देखते हुए कि जो है सुरक्षा के पुख्ता इंतजामात और ज्यादा किए जा रहे हैं, किसी प्रकार की कोई अप्रिय घटना ना हो, तो उसके चलते जो है कई तरह की तैयारियां जो है सुरक्षा बलों के द्वारा की गई है। इसके साथ साथ जो वरिष्ठ सैन्य पुलिस अधिकारी है, उनका कहना है कि घाटी में इस समय जो है 200 से 300 के करीब जो है आतंकी छुपे हो सकते हैं, ऐसी संभावना जताई जा रही है। तो लेकिन जिस प्रकार से इसके साथ साथ जो है कई तरह के जो है पब्लिक वेलफेयर के कार्यक्रम भी चल रहे हैं और इन कार्यक्रमों के चलते जो है लोगों से जुड़ने की प्रशासन की कवायद भी चल रही है और कई योजनाएं केंद्र सरकार की चल रही है, राजनीतिक गतिविधियां भी चल रही हैं। कल नेशनल कॉन्फ्रेंस के नेता जो है अपने नेता फारूक अब्दुल्ला से मिले हैं। आज ऐसी उम्मीद जताई जा रही है कि पीडीपी के नेता जो है वो महबूबा मुफ्ती से मुलाकात कर सकते हैं, लेकिन समय का भी तय नहीं हुआ है। तो किस प्रकार से ये राजनीतिक, तो तमाम तरह की हलचल जो है ये श्रीनगर में चल रही है।
Okay. All right, Bikram, thanks for those inputs. We'll of course keep getting regular inputs from J&K as far as situation is concerned there, but situation continues to be normal and peaceful across J&K. Moving on now, the Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh will today leave for France on a 2-day visit. The Defence Minister will call on the French President Emmanuel Macron tomorrow. Later, the Raksha Mantri will participate in the Rafale fighter aircraft handing over ceremony at the Marignac along with the French Minister of the Armed Forces, Florence Parly. He will also perform the Shastra Puja on the auspicious occasion of Vijay Dashmi and fly a sortie in the Rafale fighter aircraft. The Defence Minister will hold the annual Defence Dialogue with her counterpart later on Tuesday. The Raksha Mantri will also address the CEOs of the French defence industry. Moving on now, a special bench of the Supreme Court will today hear a case against the felling of trees in the RF forest in Maharashtra on an urgent basis. The Apex Court on Sunday set up a special bench on the basis of a letter addressed to the Chief Justice of India by one Rishabh Ranjan against the cutting of the trees. The Apex Court decided to register the letter as a public interest litigation. Green activists have been opposing the axing of trees by the Mumbai Metro Rail Corporation Limited in the RA colony in North Mumbai. The trees are being felled to make way for a metro rake depot after the Bombay High Court on Friday had dismissed a clutch of petitions challenging the Mumbai civic body's order for chopping the trees. The High Court on Saturday refused to grant the stay on the felling of trees. In a tragic incident, at least 6 people have lost their lives and as many injured in a collision between a truck and a tempo in Jhansi in Uttar Pradesh on Sunday. The incident took place in the Todi-Fatehpur area of Jhansi. The Uttar Pradesh Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath has expressed his deepest condolences to the families of the deceased. He's also announced an ex gratia of 2 lakh rupees for the kin of each of the deceased and 50,000 for the grievously injured. The Chief Minister has also directed the district magistrate to provide all the possible medical care to the injured. And in Gujarat, an old bridge collapsed at the Mendrada, Junagadh on Sunday. No casualties have though been reported. Locals rushed to the spot after the bridge collapsed and started the rescue work. Initial reports suggest that heavy rains may have made the ground beneath the bridge to give way. Moving on now, Mahanavami of the Shardiya Navratri is being celebrated today. The day marks the culmination of the 9-day-long Navratri festival. Devotees offer prayers in temples and perform Kumari Pujan. On this day, Goddess Durga is worshipped as Saraswati, the deity of knowledge and wisdom. The devotees visit the puja pandals to offer their obeisance to Ma Durga. Prime Minister Modi has extended his greetings on Mahanavami to all the countrymen. And the nationwide Navaratri festivities coincides with the 9-day annual Shri Shri Brahma Homotsavam at the Tirumala Balaji temple. Here's the report.
The nationwide Navaratri festivities coincide with the 9-day annual Sri Vari Brahmotsavam at the Tirumala Balaji temple. Devotees throng the hill temple from all parts of the country and abroad in millions. During the 9 days, over 5 lakh pilgrims reaching the shrine on the day of Garuda Seva alone, which is the most important day of the Navaratri Brahmotsavams. Brahmotsavam is marked with the processional deity Mallayappa blessing the devotees lined up in the gallery on the 4 Mada streets, riding on a different Vahanam each day, in the morning and evening on all 9 days. Tirumala is iconic for its impeccable security arrangement and uncompromised hygiene, sanitation and cleanliness. The devotees are offered Anna Prasadam all through the day and evenings. With highest standard food, security, sanitation and cleanliness provided to the devotees by the Tirupati Devasthanams, what else the devotees need other than a complete immersion into devotion towards their beloved God to attain the goal of total salvation and a lifetime fulfillment of being at Tirumala during the Brahmotsavams. Sivakrishna and Sitaram from Tirupati for DD News.
And let's now go across to our correspondent Girish Nishana, who is joining us from the temple in the national capital. Girish, good morning. It's a day of devotion, dedication, and that's what I believe you can also see all around you. You are at a temple there at the Jhandewalan temple. Just get us the sense, get us the glimpses, the beautiful visuals that you are seeing early since morning today of everyone so immersed in praying to Ma Durga on the last day of the Navratri festivities.
बिल्कुल नैन्सी, ठीक कहा आपने। माँ दुर्गा के 9 रूपों की यहाँ पूजा की जाती है और आज महानवमी है। महानवमी के दिन क्योंकि 9 दिनों तक लगातार लोगों ने, श्रद्धालु ने व्रत उपवास रखे और कुछ लोगों ने सप्तमी की पूजा की, किसी ने अष्टमी में किया और तो किसी ने नवमी के अंदर पूजा की। तो कहीं ना कहीं कोई सप्तमी पे किसी ने कन्याओं का पूजन किया, किसी ने अष्टमी पे किया और किसी ने आज महानवमी करके कन्याओं का पूजन कर अपने व्रत उपवास तोड़ रहे हैं। मैं अपने कैमरा सहयोगी प्रभु से कहूँगा कि वे दृश्य दिखाएं जहाँ माँ झंडे वालन के आप दर्शन कर सकते हैं, हमारे दर्शक वहाँ पर सीधा दर्शन कर सकते हैं। काफ़ी संख्या में यहाँ पर श्रद्धालु पहुँच रहे हैं, लोगों में उत्साह का माहौल है, पूरा उमंग का माहौल है। मंदिरों को जो है भव्य रूप में सजाया गया है। आप देख सकते हैं किस तरह से मंदिरों की किस तरह से फूल लगाए गए हैं, सुंदरता में चार चांद लगा रहे हैं। माँ भगवती के दर्शन करने के लिए यहाँ पर जो श्रद्धालु हैं वो सुबह 4 बजे से ही पहुँचने आरंभ हो जाते हैं। तो लोगों में काफ़ी उत्साह का माहौल है, उमंग का माहौल है। और माँ जो देवी हैं, देवी के 9 रूपों की इन दिनों में पूजा की गई और आज 9वां दिन है। माँ सिद्धात्री की पूजा की जा रही है। लोगों में पूरा उत्साह है, पूरा उमंग है। नैन्सी, मैं आपको बताना चाहूँगा इन 9 दिनों के अंदर लोगों ने मंदिरों में जाकर पूजा अर्चना की, जगह जगह भगवती जागरण आयोजित किए गए, जगह जगह माता की चौकियां लगाई गई। इसके अलावा नवरात्र की बात की जाए तो नवरात्र के अंदर खासतौर पर रामलीलाओं का मंचन होता है। देश भर के अंदर रामलीलाएं आयोजित की जाती हैं, जिसमें भगवान श्री राम के जन्म से लेकर उनके राम राज्य का दर्शन किया जाता है, मंचन किया जाता है, जो मनोरंजन के साथ साथ कई तरह के संदेश भी देते हैं। चाहे वो पिता का आदेश का पालन करना हो, क्योंकि जिस तरह भगवान श्री राम ने पिता की आज्ञा के लिए अपना राज्य छोड़ दिया था, अपना देश छोड़ के वो वनवास चले गए थे, वन के अंदर उन्होंने 14 वर्ष काटे। इसी तरह अगर लक्ष्मण जी की बात की जाए तो उन्होंने अपने भैया के लिए अपना घर छोड़ दिया और वो उनके साथ पूरे हमेशा हर पल उनके साथ डटे रहे, बने रहे। तो कहीं ना कहीं काफ़ी ऐसी चीज़ हैं जो अधर्म पर धर्म की जीत को प्रदर्शित करती है, क्योंकि कल विजयदशमी है। विजयदशमी के अंदर भगवान श्री राम रावण का वध करेंगे, जगह जगह पर पुतलों का दहन किया जाएगा, जहाँ पर असत्य पर सत्य की जीत को प्रदर्शित किया जाएगा। तो काफ़ी अहम माने जाते हैं ये शारदीय नवरात्र और 9 दिनों तक काफ़ी माँ देवी की अलग अलग रूपों की पूजा की जाती है और आज माँ सिद्धात्री की पूजा की जा रही है।
Okay. All right, Girish, thanks for those inputs. Of course, there's an atmosphere of hope, positivity. It's praying all around, and of course, dedication and devotion that can be seen all across all the temples today. Of course, very important day, and it's the end of the Navratri festivities. Also, the end of the 9-day fasting that the devotees hold. And let's now in fact go across live now to West Bengal, where Mahanavami is being celebrated at the Belur Math in Kolkata. Thousands of devotees from across the world are thronging to witness the Durga Puja at Belur Math.
Navadurga Navam Devata Devi Katyayani ইনি স্বতন্ত্র দেবী মহিষাসুর মর্দিনী রূপে প্রকাশিতা কাত্যায়ন ঋষির আশ্রমে দেবতাদের পুঞ্জীভূত শক্তির পরিগৃহীত মূর্তি কাত্যায়ন ঋষি দৃষ্ট বা পূজিত। তাই তার নাম দেবী কাত্যায়নী। এই সমস্ত নবদুর্গা একত্রিতভাবে সম্মিলিতভাবে নবদুর্গা নামে পরিচিত এবং এই নবদুর্গা স্বরূপিণী দেবী দুর্গাকেই আবার অর্চনা করে নেওয়া হচ্ছে। ওই দেবীর ঘোষণা, আমি ব্যতীত জগতে আর কেউ নেই দ্বিতীয়, সেটিকে মনে রেখেই পৃথক পৃথক নবদুর্গার পূজা করলেও আবার নবদুর্গা স্বরূপিণী দেবী দুর্গার পূজা করে নিতে হয়। দেবীর আরো বিভিন্ন প্রকাশ রয়েছে, তার মধ্যে যে একাদশ শক্তি, জয়ন্তী আদি একাদশ শক্তি, তারা দেবীর স্বরূপ। জয়ন্তী, মঙ্গলা, কালী, ভদ্রকালী, কপালিনী, দুর্গা, শিবা, ক্ষমা, ধাত্রী, স্বাহা, স্বধা। দেবী পুরাণে, দেবী ভাগবতে, কালিকা পুরাণে এই বিভিন্ন দেবীর বর্ণনা রয়েছে। গঙ্গার পশ্চিম তীরে
Belur Math, the global headquarters of the Ramakrishna Math and the Ramakrishna Mission there. Of course, the last day of Navratri festivities, and thousands have thronged the Belur Math there in Kolkata to get a glimpse of the dedication and devotion that can be seen across the country today on the auspicious occasion of Mahan Navami. And as the country is dipped into festivities, a special program was held in Madhya Pradesh's Indore to make the celebrations more inclusive. Visually impaired girls performed Garba as part of the Navratri celebration. Girls dressed up in colorful traditional outfits to participate in the celebration. Remember, Garba is a traditional Gujarati dance form that is celebrated every year during Navaratri. So an atmosphere of gaiety prevailing all across the country, with the devotees across all the ages participating in the festivities. We're moving on now to some international news. In a major setback to Pakistan, the Asia-Pacific group of the Financial Action Task Force slammed Islamabad for not taking sufficient measures against individuals and the entities associated with the terror groups. The Asia-Pacific Group on Money Laundering on Saturday published its report on money laundering and terror financing in Pakistan a week before the annual plenary of the Financial Action Task Force. The report said Islamabad has not taken sufficient measures to fully implement the UNSCR 1267 obligations against all the listed individuals and entities, especially those associated with the Lashkar-e-Toiba, the Jamaat-ud-Dawa and Falah-e-Insaniyat Foundation, as well as the group's leader, Hafiz Saeed. The report came heavily on Pakistan's central bank, the market regulator and the Exchange Commission over terror financing. And Mauritius Prime Minister Pravin Kumar Jagannath dissolved the parliament. In a video statement, he announced that the island nation will hold the general elections on 7th November. By law, the country has between 30 and 150 days to organize elections after the Prime Minister dissolves parliament. The country, a popular tourist destination and one of Africa's most stable nations, holds election every 5 years, with the last one in 2014. Jagannath, who is also the finance minister, will seek another term as the leader of the movement Socialist Militant. He had in 2017 succeeded his father Anirudh Jagannath, who was the prime minister, the president or the opposition leader from 1976 before stepping down in 2016 at the age of 86. The island nation of 1.3 million inhabitants, considered one of Africa's most stable democracies, won the independence from Britain in 1968. Its economy is based on tourism, financial services and the exports of sugar and textiles. Moving on now, in Portugal, the Prime Minister Antonio Costa won Sunday's national elections as the voters rewarded his Socialist Party for returning the country to robust growth and budgetary health. However, the Socialists appeared likely to fall short of a majority of the 230 seats in Parliament. After coming to power in 2015, Costa moved quickly to undo some of the unpopular austerity measures introduced by the previous PSD-led government. And in the United States, a second whistleblower has come forward in the impeachment case against US President Donald Trump. The existence of a whistleblower claiming the first-hand knowledge would make it harder for the president and his supporters to dismiss the original complaint as hearsay, as they have repeatedly done so. Trump pushed back at the allegations in 2 tweets early Sunday, though he made no mention of the second whistleblower. The former Speaker of Nepal's House of Representatives, Krishna Bahadur Mahara, has been arrested in a sexual harassment case on Sunday. A woman employee working in Parliament Secretariat had lodged a police complaint against Mahara on Friday, accusing attempt to rape and acts of violence. Mahara had resigned on Tuesday after media reports of sexual harassment allegations. His resignation was accepted. And in more news from around the world, Hong Kong was rocked by fresh violence on Sunday. Tens of thousands hit the streets to defy a ban on face masks, sparking clashes with the police, street fights and vandalism across the strife-torn city. Large crowds marched through torrential rain in peaceful but unsanctioned rallies on both sides of Victoria Harbour, condemning the government for deploying emergency powers to ban the face mask at public gatherings. Activists have staged 3 straight days of flash mob rallies and sprees of vandalism after Hong Kong's leader Carrie Lam outlawed face coverings by protesters, invoking colonial-era emergency powers not used for half a century. Pro-democracy lawmakers went to the High Court on Sunday morning seeking an injunction against the ban. On Sunday, more than half the stations remained shuttered, many of them in the heart of the city's main tourist districts. A 25-year-old man turned himself into Austrian police on Sunday after allegedly killing his former girlfriend, her family and her new boyfriend in the alpine resort town of Kitzbühel. The Austrian news agency reported that the 25-year-old suspect, whose name has not yet been released, admitted to the 5 slayings. According to police, he had bumped into her and her new boyfriend while out late Saturday night or early Sunday and had gotten into an argument. The police alleged that he shot the father as he opened the door, then shot his former girlfriend's 25-year-old brother in his bedroom, and after killing her mother, he found the door to his former girlfriend's separate apartment attached to the single-family home locked. He then went outside and climbed over a balcony into his former girlfriend's room and killed the 19-year-old and her 24-year-old boyfriend. Outsider candidates challenged Tunisia's political elite on Sunday as voters returned to the polls weeks after a presidential election that reshaped the country's post-Arab Spring political landscape. The polling stations for the 7 million-strong electorate closed at 6 in the evening on Sunday, with preliminary official results scheduled for Wednesday. More than 15,000 candidates on 1,500 lists are contesting the 217 seats in a parliament dominated by the Islamist-inspired Ennahda, in alliance with the centrist party Nida Tunes, which has been decimated by infighting. Kickstarting their first out of the total 5 spacewalks, the astronauts are all set to replace the old batteries at the International Space Station. The 2 U.S. astronauts, Christina Koch and Andrew Morgan, are assigned to remove a pair of old batteries and install a new lithium-ion battery. These new 180-kilogram batteries, which are highly efficient to replace the 2 old batteries, are part of the space station's solar power network. After this, NASA plans to conduct 5 more U.S.-Italian spacewalks in November and December to fix a key science instrument. This unusual crush of spacewalks will feature the first all-female spacewalk by Koch and Jessica Meir. And with that, let's now move on to our next segment, The Finance World, with my colleague Ajay.
Thanks, Nancy. Welcome all to Finance World. The Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs, Nirmala Sitharaman, will inaugurate the National E-Assessment Centre in New Delhi today. Under the new system, the taxpayers have received notices on their registered emails as well as on the registered account on the web portal www.incometaxindia.efiling.gov.in with the real-time alert by way of SMS on their registered mobile number, specifying the issue for which their cases have been selected for the scrutiny. Replies to the notices can be prepared at ease by the taxpayers at their own residence or office and will be sent by emails to the National E-Assessment Centre by uploading the same on the designated web portal. The setting up of National E-Assessment Centre is a momentous step towards the larger objective of better taxpayer services, reduction of taxpayer grievances in the line of Prime Minister's vision of Digital India and promotion of ease of doing business. The financial result of India Inc. for the quarter September 30th will be closely watched in the truncated trading week ahead. The domestic stock market will remain closed on Tuesday, 8th of October on account of Dussehra. Macroeconomic data, trends in global markets, the movement of rupee against dollar, and the crude oil price movement, inflows from FPIs as well as the domestic institutional investors will also be closely watched. IndusInd Bank and Tata Consultancy Services will declare their Q2 results on 10th of October. Infosys will announce its Q2 results on 11th of October. Local stocks logged strong losses in the week gone by selling pressure in the index biotals. Market sentiments was impacted after Reserve Bank of India, RBI, slashed the country's economic growth outlook for the fiscal. The Sensex dropped below 38,000 mark. The Nifty cracked below 11,500 mark. And oil prices fell on Monday, extending last week heavy losses, with traders fearing the global economic slowdown will weigh on future oil demand growth, while pegging hope for a rebound on progress in talks this week on ending the US-China trade war. Brent crude futures is down 24 cents at $58.13 a barrel, while US West Texas Intermediate crude oil was 20 cents down. Both contracts ended last week with a more than 5% decline after dismal manufacturing data from US and China, as the lingering row between the world's top economies hurt global growth and raise the risk of recession. That's all in the finance world.
Thanks, Ajay, for all those inputs. Let's now move on to sports news. And in cricket, India defeated South Africa in the first test at Visakhapatnam by 203 runs. Chasing a target of 395 runs, South Africa began their innings from score 11 for 1, but soon their batting order collapsed. Ravindra Jadeja and Mohammad Shami struck a lethal blow. After losing 8 wickets in 70 runs, South African batsmen Dane Peat and Senuram Mithusamy tried to resurrect the South African innings. However, the 91-run partnership was broken after Mohammad Shami claimed the wicket of Dane Peat, who scored 56 runs. South Africa batsmen were bowled out on 191 runs. Mohammad Shami picked 5 wickets.
So India win by 203 go 1.
And with that, let's now move on to our next segment, the morning print, to get you a glimpse of what the national dailies are carrying this morning. We are beginning first with the news from Hindustan Times, and this is very important news. In fact, new guidelines to put recycling onus on plastic manufacturers. The government is working on new guidelines for extended producer responsibility, a globally standardized plastic pollution policy under which the manufacturer is responsible for recycling or disposing of plastics. Prime Minister Modi, remember, has called for freeing the country of single-use plastic by 2022, and to this end the government is pushing manufacturers to put in place the evidence-based mechanism so that authorities can track what recycling firms undertake as the EPR obligations. In fact, and there are currently no comprehensive guidelines that manufacturers or brands must follow, so there are no fixed recycling targets, but we may soon see a policy in place on that as well. All right, let's now move on to some other news. Central steps help to cool off the onion prices. The onion prices in Delhi have dropped below the 60 rupees a kilogram mark in the retail market for the first time in 2 weeks, as the centre's measures imposing stock limits and banning exports took effect, cooling off the prices in most parts of the country. And also, in fact, that's according to a data from the National Horticultural Board. The retail prices for the vegetable in the capital dropped to 55 rupees a kg over the weekend, and this is the first dip since September, when it had risen to 65 kilograms a kg. Okay, moving on now to this news from the Times of India, and this is about how India and US could be closer to a trade deal. And this talks about how prospects of an early conclusion of an India-US trade deal have brightened, with the two sides reducing their of course the differences to allow more goods to be shipped by both the countries, besides cutting import duty on contentious items, including the high-end bikes like Harley Davidson's. While an assessment of the gains in terms of duty benefits as well as trade volumes is being undertaken, an announcement over the next few weeks looks likely. There have also been discussions on the trade package being unveiled during the next meeting between Prime Minister Modi and the US President Donald Trump, with the possibility of an interaction in India also being looked at. All right, let's once again go back to Hindustan Times to get you more news. The Indian Army to begin deploying light howitzers in the eastern sector. The Indian Army is preparing to deploy its new M777 ultralight howitzers in eastern Arunachal Pradesh for accurate artillery fire support in the mountainous terrain that could prove to be a game changer in the sector. And this is in fact talking about the caliber of the howitzers, which can be sling-loaded to helicopters and swiftly deployed to high altitude areas, are likely to be inducted by the year end. India, remember, has ordered 145 howitzers from the US for $750 million in November 2016. And towards the end, we are getting you more news from The Hindu. It talks about how the only Indian in the largest ever Arctic expedition, Vishnu Nandan, a native of Kerala, will be a part of the study of the Arctic climate. For 4 months from November, Vishnu Nandan will not see sunlight. He will be aboard the German research vessel Polstern and anchored on a large sheet of sea ice in the central Arctic, drifting along with it during the pitch black polar winter. And he's a native of Thiruvananthapuram. He's in fact the only Indian researcher among 300 scientists from across the world aboard the multidisciplinary drifting observatory for the study of the Arctic climate expedition that will help the researchers better understand the impact of climate change and aid in improved weather projections. A very important study expedition that will be undertaken by the only Indian among the group of 300 scientists. With that, it's a wrap on the morning print for now, but let's now move on to our next segment and take a look back at the significance of this day in the history.
On this day in 1708, the 10th Sikh spiritual guru and founder of the Khalsa Panth, Guru Gobind Singh, passed away at Hazur Sahib, Nanded. On the same day in 1914, Queen of Ghazals, Begum Akhtar, was born in Faizabad, Uttar Pradesh. Begum Akhtar received the Sangeet Natak Academy Award for vocal music and was awarded the Padma Shri and Padma Bhushan. On this day in 1949, the Republic of East Germany was formed. In the year 1950, the new congregation of the Missionaries of Charity was officially established in the Archdiocese of Calcutta by Mother Teresa. On the same day in 1953, Chandigarh was formally inaugurated as the capital of Punjab by the first President, Dr. Rajendra Prasad.
And a look now at the important events for today in Outlook.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, accompanied by Defence Secretary Ajay Kumar and several senior bureaucrats, to leave for a 2-day visit to France. Union Minister for Finance and Corporate Affairs Nirmala Sitharaman to inaugurate the National E-Assessment Centre at the National Media Centre in New Delhi in the presence of Minister of State for Finance and Corporate Affairs Anurag Singh Thakur. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar to preside over a conference to celebrate the 55th anniversary of the Indian Technical and Economic Cooperation Programme, India's flagship capacity building program at Pravasi Bharatiya Kendra in New Delhi. It is the last date for withdrawal of candidature for the general elections to the legislative assemblies of Haryana and Maharashtra. The polling will be held on the 21st of October.
And moving on now to our health story of the day. On the 18th September this year, the Government of India had imposed a ban on the sale and the production of e-cigarettes. The importing e-cigarettes is also banned in the country. In today's health segment, we are sharing a report on the harmful effects of e-cigarettes.
Use of e-cigarettes is quite high in adolescents and young adults. It often starts as a fashion statement or style symbol and has severe consequences. Recently, the e-cigarettes have been banned. To talk about this, we have with us Health Secretary Preeti Sudanji. What is the vision behind the ban of e-cigarettes?
So, e-cigarettes is relatively a new product which has come in the market and being marketed as a tobacco cessation tool, which actually is not really approved, and there is no verifiable studies to prove that. But on the contrary, the harm that it is causing, those stories are coming out, those research findings are coming out, and our ICMR, which is the apex research body, it has produced a white paper and recommended that e-cigarettes should be banned. So e-cigarettes have nicotine and the flavored e-cigarettes also have cancer causing elements in them. And we have found that in US, because they were being marketed aggressively in US, that in 1 year alone 77% increase of students of middle and high school who took to e-cigarettes. So we don't want our children to fall prey to this, and that's why I think this ban is very, very important and very timely.
What message would you like to give to our young people?
Our youth need to join our Fit India, Eat Right movement and actually remain healthy. And we as parents also, I wish that they don't ever fall prey to these products which can be addictive, which can be harmful, and which can actually destroy their lives. I have great faith in this young generation because I feel that they are more informed than us, and they are the children of the new information age. So I would say that young adults, children, please don't go by marketing ploys. Kindly do your research yourself. Talk to experts. Go and see studies published, and talk to your parents so that you are not actually taken in only by advertisement, but you make your own research. And I'm sure that when you go into the depth of things, you'll find that e-cigarettes are harmful, so you should just stay away from them.
Thank you, Preeti Sudanji, for this information. May it be e-cigarettes or any other form of tobacco, all the forms of tobacco are really harmful. So choose a healthy life and say no to tobacco. Kiran Bhardwaj, DD News.
And moving on now to our Good News India story. Well, at a time when the several activists around the world have called for a climate emergency, the residents of Hinjewadi in Pune have given the country an example of collective responsibility. With the slogan "Save the Environment," they have created mass movement to plant saplings and save the rainwater. Here's how they are doing it.
It is our collective responsibility to make the environment around us green and beautiful. For long now, many people have been waging a lonely and uphill battle to protect and save the environment. Among them are the people of Hinjewadi, Pune. Their slogan is simple but clear: save the environment. The initiative is winning the wholehearted support of every section of society, whether bank employees, engineers or traders, you name it. And the result of this movement is plainly visible to all around. The once barren earth has been transformed into a green area. Their collective efforts have preserved the hills, forests and ponds. Every day they plant trees and do their best to save rainwater. This year alone, over 350 saplings were planted, including tulsi, peepal, mango, jamun, neem and banyan. The trees absorb the carbon dioxide and give out large amounts of oxygen, thus keeping the environment pure and healthy. They are not resting on their laurels and plan to plant around 3,000 saplings which will purify the air. Let the truth be known that everything is possible through public participation. Good News India, DD News.
The Golden Jubilee edition of the International Film Festival of India, IFFI, will be held in Goa from 20th to 28th November. This year, IFFI will screen over 200 films catering to around 10,000 cinema lovers who will be a part of the festival. Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar has extended his best wishes to IFFI.
The 50th edition of the International Film Festival of India will be held in Goa from November 20th to the 28th. Over 200 films will be screened in IFFI this year, with around 26 feature and 15 non-feature films in several Indian languages. A large number of artists from India and across the globe will participate in this festival.
More than 10,000 people and film lovers will participate, and hundreds of foreign and national and regional language artists will also join. This year there will be 200 international films, 26 Indian feature films and 15 Indian non-feature films in different languages will be exhibited in this film festival.
As the International Film Festival of India celebrates its Golden Jubilee year, it will hold a special screening of 12 films in various languages made over 50 years ago. The organizers have also come with a special film for the visually impaired.
Visually impaired people cannot experience the film in full because they can listen to the dialogues, but they cannot understand the gaps. So there will be a narration recorded of the gaps which will explain what is happening on the screen, though there are no dialogues. And those gaps will be filled by that narration, audio track, that they will hear from their phone. This is a new initiative.
India has partnered with Russia for the 50th International Film Festival of India. Selected films of legendary actor Amitabh Bachchan will be screened during this edition of the festival. The cinema legend will be presented with the prestigious Dadasaheb Phalke Award this year. Bureau Report, DD News.
The 550th Prakash Utsav of Guru Nanak Dev Ji will be celebrated on the 12th of November. To commemorate the occasion, a palanquin yatra took off on the 1st of August from Nankana Sahib in Pakistan, the birthplace of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, and after traversing 17 states, it will conclude in Sultanpur Lodi in Kapurthala in the first week of November. A huge celebration will take place to mark the completion of the journey, in which Prime Minister Modi will also participate.
To commemorate the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, popularly known as Prakash Utsav, the international Shobha Yatra that flagged off from Nankana Sahib in Pakistan is receiving a rousing welcome at all the places the Yatra is passing through. The devotees are circumambulating the Yatra and paying their obeisance, along with organizing grand langars. There is so much enthusiasm about the Yatra that even if the Yatra reaches late at night, people are thronging in large numbers, welcoming it.
ਧੰਨ ਧੰਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦਾ 550 ਸਾਲਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਜਗਤ ਮਨਾ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਪਵਿੱਤਰ ਧਰਤੀ ਨਨਕਾਣਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪਾਕਿਸਤਾਨ ਤੋਂ 1 ਅਗਸਤ ਨੂੰ ਚੱਲਿਆ ਸੀ ਨਗਰ ਕੀਰਤਨ, ਜੋ ਸਾਰਾ ਪੂਰੇ ਦੇਸ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਘੁੰਮਦਾ ਹੋਇਆ ਹਜੂਰ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪਟਨਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੱਲ ਦਿੱਲੀ ਤੋਂ ਚੱਲਿਆ ਹੈ, ਜੋ ਅੱਜ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਤੇਗ ਬਹਾਦਰ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਜੀਂਦ ਪਹੁੰਚ ਗਿਆ।
This international yatra is travelling through 17 states before concluding at Sultanpur Lodi in Kapurthala district in the first week of November, where a big event is being organised in which even Prime Minister Modi will participate, along with chief ministers and governors of various states and other dignitaries.
बहुत खुशी का माहौल है। ये गुरु नानक देव जी के उपलक्ष्य में 550 साल जो प्रोग्राम किए जा रहे हैं, उनके उपलक्ष्य में ये यात्रा आई है। करनाल में पहुंचने पर हम इनका तहे दिल से आभारी हैं और वो बहुत स्वागत करते हैं।
Guru Nanak Dev Ji's Prakash Utsav is celebrated all over the world with great fervour. To commemorate the occasion, Grand Nagar Kirtan is being organised in Panchkula, Nada Sahib on the 12th of November. The international Nagar Kirtan dedicated to Prakash Utsav entered Karnal late last night. It is worth mentioning that this yatra in Karnal has once again revived the memories of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, as Guru Nanak himself came during his visit and sat on a manji, cot, and spent many days. The place is now known as Manji Sahib.
ਹਰਿਆਣਾ ਰਾਜ ਦੇ ਅੰਦਰ ਵੀ ਜਿੱਥੇ-ਜਿੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਪਹਿਲੇ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਅਸਥਾਨ ਨੇ, ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਪਾਣੀਪਤ, ਕਰਨਾਲ, ਕੁਰਕਸ਼ੇਤਰ, ਭੇਵਾ, ਕਰਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਅਤੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰਾ ਚਿਲਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸਿਰਸਾ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਸਥਾਨਾਂ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਨਗਰ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਜਾਏਗਾ। ਸੋ ਸਮੁੱਚੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਨਾਮ ਲੇਵਾ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ, ਸਮੁੱਚੇ ਹੀ ਭਾਈਚਾਰੇ ਕੀ ਹਿੰਦੂ ਕੀ ਮੁਸਲਮਾਨ ਕੀ ਜੈਨੀ ਕੀ ਬੋਧੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਹੀ ਇਸ ਨਗਰ ਕੀਰਤਨ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਉਂ ਆਇਆ ਕਹਿ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ।
Bureau Report, DD News.
And I look now at the weather conditions across the country for today. That's all we have for you in this edition of the Breakfast News. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. But before we go today, we are leaving you with a glimpses of the balloon fiesta held in Mexico over the weekend. Take a look at those visuals and we wish you a great day ahead. Thanks for being with us.